Coming up next, I'm going to tell you how to tell a loved one it might be time to quit their job, and then the top 10 states leading the quitting trend. And we take your calls, and it all starts right now. Welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. We're coming to you from our Ramsey Solutions headquarters, and if it is just afternoon Eastern Standard Time while you're watching, we are live. If it's not, you're watching later, but we're thrilled to have you with us as well. We are here to talk about you, specifically what you were born to do. There is purpose in your relationships, and there's purpose in your work. Professional and relational purpose. Now, we end up talking about both from time to time, but our primary focus is what work you were created to do so that, watch this, you can make the money you desire and experience the meaning that you desire to make that contribution, income, and impact. The dream job is possible. You can actually get there. The dream job being defined simply by you using what you do best to do work you love, to produce results in a really healthy environment. There it is. That's what the dream job looks like, and it's possible. We can get you there. We have 7 stages. Get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job. Give yourself away where you work like no one else. 844-747-2577 is the number to jump in. 844-747-2577 is toll free. If you're feeling something, you know what you're supposed to be doing, but you're just down, discouraged, scared, unsure, insecure, come on. You'll call. I'll give you a pep talk. All right? It doesn't have to be a tactical question all the time. Sometimes it's an emotional one, and we are here for you. We'll change your name, your location if it's a sensitive call. If it's a very toxic, scary, dangerous situation, please call. We want to get you help. If we can't help, we can get you help. 844-747-2577. Okay. Very, very emotionally charged topic today, because we get calls all the time from spouses, sometimes from parents, sometimes from brothers and sisters and cousins and friends, all on behalf of a loved one who is very unhappy in their work, maybe to the point that it is causing emotional, mental, and physical harm. But there's this boundary, there's this tension for the loved one who knows that their friend or family member needs to move on. They won't do it. And so we get this question a lot. Essentially, the question is, how do I tell a loved one it's time to quit? So let's first address the fact that you are really close to them, and sometimes we don't listen well to those of us that we're closest to. We know they care deeply for us, but for some reason, we just tend to overlook their advice, or we misread their intentions. So let's address that first. You need to be loving and very chill in how you mention this. Now, I am a recovering overcoacher when it comes to my family. Friends, same way. I get excited and passionate for them. I know what I believe is best for them. And because of the intimacy and the comfortability, it has been a fault of mine where I will bring it on too strong. Hey, you got to do this. Do it right now. What are you doing? Come on. And it's coming from a good place. My heart's in the right place. My style, my posture is wrong. So I'm preaching to me right now. I've done this wrong, still do it wrong. And the key is to be very loving, very relaxed in how you deliver. Go, hey, curious, I got some questions for you. And I got the questions for you today. Because when you ask questions versus make a statement, it helps relax you. You're not coming across as intense, as kind of know-it-all. You're kind of letting them wrestle with it. And so I've got 5 questions for you. And you can adapt these. You don't have to use all 5. But I want to give you these as tools to be able to have the conversation with the friend or family member and not come across too coachy, not come across too know-it-all, too intense. Here we go. First, are you happy and fulfilled at work? I mean, this is when a natural conversation and they're griping, they're complaining, they're talking about it. This is a very easy entry point. You go, how happy are you? Or how fulfilled are you at work? This is the idea. This is the heart of that question. The second one is, do you feel like they value you? So they're talking about it. They're griping and complaining a little bit, saying a few things here and there. And you could just go, hey, curious, do you feel like they value you? Boy, that creates some introspection quickly. As you watch what's happening just in these two first questions. You may already know the answer, but instead of you saying, I see this, I feel this about you, you're asking them the question and letting them take it and personalize it, process it, and hopefully verbalize it. Number 3, do you see opportunities in other places that you might be interested in? Again, this is a real nice redirect. They're talking to you about it. They're complaining about something, and you just look at them and go, hey, I'm just curious. Have you looked at other opportunities? Are there some other opportunities that if you knew you could walk into them, you'd be very interested? Oh, that's a good one. Very passive there, by the way. Number 4, I know you're not happy. I hear what you're saying here, but what's your connection to the mission of the company? Boy, that's a really fun one there. Because if they're in a bad way, in a bad place with the company, you ask about that mission question, it's going to evoke all kinds of emotion. They may go, yeah, I think it's good, but they don't actually believe in it themselves, or whatever they're going to say. And this is a question where you start to make them think big picture. Because watch what just happened in this subtle little question. When you ask them if they care about the mission or they are connected to the mission of their current company, and when they reveal yes or no, it makes them look at their own values, their own mission. In having to answer that or consider that question, you start making them think about stuff that maybe they haven't been thinking about. And then finally, do you think this job is healthy for you? Here's what's happening with this question. You make them confront that what they are doing by staying is harming themselves. Make them confront it by just saying, hey, how healthy do you think it is? Is it, how unhealthy is it? Again, you take any of these questions and you personalize these, put whatever you want on them. But the spirit behind these questions is one where you are trying to provoke them to thought and to action as opposed to provoke them to anger and frustration. Because when you go, if I go through the list and go, you're not happy, I don't think you're fulfilled, they don't value you, there's all kinds of opportunities out there for you. I mean, do you even have a connection to the mission there? This job's killing you. You start making declarative statements, they immediately have to defend the statements because you've made it personal against them instead of making it personal for them. And those questions we just gave you are going to provoke thought and hopefully action. Hope those help you. But again, stay chill, stay positive, very passive. Encourage them to think and to act. Don't go anywhere. Your calls are coming up next.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. Thrilled to have you with us as we take your calls, your questions. We deal with your emotions. We deal with your realities. We're going to come up with clear and practical steps for you to move from one stage to the next. There are 7 stages in the journey to doing the work you were born to do, really being in that dream job. Get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, and then what? Well, now we're giving ourselves away. We're not working for income. It's all about impact. The income's there. All the things are there. So we want to help you in this journey. We got all kinds of tools, all kinds of offerings for you. And you have no choice, in my opinion, but to work on purpose, because it's not about you. It's about everybody else. See, there are people in this world that you were created to contribute to. And you can make a really nice paycheck and really enjoy Monday through Friday, no matter what's going on. All because you know you're making the contribution to the people that you can reach, the people that you can touch, the people that you can bless. So that's the mindset here. So let's get to it. It is a free phone call for you to jump in, 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. Davison, Michigan is where we go now to Mark, who joins us there. Mark, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hello, Mr. Coleman. It is a great pleasure to be here speaking with you.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. What's going on today, Mark?
So I've been listening to you for about the past month and a half, and I've really fallen in love with what you preach about finding clarity. I picked up your book, From Paycheck to Purpose, and I know where I want to end up, but my question is I don't know how to go there.
Great.
I'm currently in a Master's of Public Health program for school, and my family wants me to take the more traditional route. But for me, I have a strong passion for animals and dogs, and I've done a lot in my undergrad research between behavioral therapies and how it can help promoting positive health through dogs, and I want to be able to bring those two worlds together by helping others and through animals. And my question is, where is the best place for me to start off and to not make my family feel like, he's doing something risky if he doesn't do the traditional route?
What's the traditional route?
The traditional route is, get a job that is secure either in healthcare or public health, and a job that's not seen as like a specialty or something, like almost like a YouTube or something, where it's not like a normal concrete.
Well, now, I thought you
job.
said you were talking about marrying your love of animals and your love of counseling and restoring people. And so you were going to get into the animal therapy, but that's not YouTube. That's actually a pretty viable thing, is it not?
Right, that is. I was just using that as an example because my mom and dad, they're old school, so they're like, get into a healthcare clinic and then work your way up the ranks.
Okay,
there.
but
Yeah,
how many
that.
clinics? That's okay. How regular is it now for certain clinics, psychology, psychiatry, to use animal therapy? How often is that married?
I think that's becoming more popular now with alternative therapies and different type of therapies going the more holistic route rather than the pharmacology route.
Right, but the point is that there are a lot of people that are offering that type of therapy with an animal for children and adults, I'm guessing. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, then. So you got to tell your family this isn't some wing on a prayer kind of concept that I'm trying to create. It's more and more and more, and it's happening more and more and more, where it is blending traditional therapy and counseling with the connection with the animal for trauma and for all kinds of things. This is not a new thing. As soon as you said it, I thought, well, that's great. I know a lot of therapists that use that. It's a different style, and it blends a lot, but I think it's still both, is it not? Traditional counseling plus some of the therapy with the animal?
Absolutely.
Okay, then. The only reason I spent any time on that at all was to help you realize that this is not some wild, crazy idea, and your parents need to understand that. And you need to show them, well, first of all, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to prove anything to them.
Okay.
I think you want to, and I understand that. So from the want to, you can show mom and dad, hey, this is a normal thing. I can work for a clinic and work for a practice and work my way up. I can work for practices that do this and use this type of therapy, and that's what I want to do. This is an exploding space, and that's the space I'm going into. They don't have to approve it. Because here's the deal.
Okay.
If you decide not to do this thing that you want to do because your mom and dad don't get it and they're scared for you, then you are going to resent them and resent them deeply. Do you see that possibility?
Absolutely.
Now, here's the deal. I think you have two choices. Would you rather
Okay.
disappoint your parents or would you rather resent your parents?
Disappoint.
Absolutely. I would much rather disappoint somebody than resent them. You know why? No, I'm serious. I'm not trying to make light of this.
Yeah.
Do you know why I choose disappoint somebody over resent them? Because the disappointment's on their side. I'm sleeping like a baby because I know I was put on this planet to counsel and to give therapy and restore people who've been traumatized, because I love animals, and I don't just love animals, but I love the restorative power of an animal.
Absolutely.
Come on, man. You feel that?
And I absolutely do. And
The
I wanted to thank you
disappointment.
tremendously for that.
Listen, the disappointment is on their side. You can't control that. But you know why I choose disappointment versus resentment? Because the resentment's on my side. I got to live with the resentment. I got to deal with that. How am I going to be all I can be in helping heal others if I've got my own resentment? Come on, now I'm stepping on your toes, aren't I, Mark?
No, I appreciate the insight for sure.
Yeah. Go do it. Now,
Awesome.
is that why you called? Is how to deal with mom and dad or how to get there?
How to get there?
Okay, okay.
What's the other
All right, so you're reading the book From Paycheck to Purpose and you see the 7 stages, correct?
Yes.
All right then. So what stage would you say you were in?
I would say I'm at the very beginning, maybe stage 1 or 2.
No, I think you're very clear on what you want to do and why you want to do it. Yes?
Yes.
So now it's about getting qualified. Stage 2, stage 3 is getting connected so that we can step into stage 4, get started. And I think you're unclear about how to get qualified and how to get connected, because that's where opportunities come to you and they go, Mark, we want you to work for us, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the deal. Are you in school right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. How much more do you have left?
I have until October of next year.
Okay, and so then you have October next year, and so you got a little bit less than a year, and you can make some connections. You're getting qualified with a basic counseling degree, yes?
It's a public health degree.
Public health. Okay, is that going to qualify you to do this kind of counseling? What's the training? What's the qualification and training necessary to do the kind of work you want to do? Therapy, using animals and counseling and all that. What's the qualification that you need?
That I'm not sure.
Okay,
right
so
now
there's your
because I
homework
don't know.
assignment. So you're going to have your
Okay.
4-year degree, which is the first requirement. Okay?
Right.
You're going to get that. Then you're going to need some level of grad school, almost positive. So here's your homework assignment. What do I need to learn? By the way, it's in the chapters 3 and 4 of the book.
Okay.
You've already read it. Go back and reread it. The education question. What do I need to learn? What do I need to do as experience? How much is it going to cost? And then how long is it going to take? Those are your 4 qualifying questions. I wrote them in the book. That's the good news. You don't have to remember our conversation. Go right back to the Get Qualified section of the book and reread it. Go get the answers. Now you go, oh, okay, I need this grad level degree. I'm going to need this much internship and this much experience. I'm going to have to take an entry level, bottom level, get in. Where are the clinics that are doing that? In my area, right? You still tracking with me, Mark?
Yes.
Yeah, this isn't difficult, is it, Mark?
No.
No. Go get the answers to the 4 qualifying questions. Pick the best plan. But the first thing that you have to do is you're going to have to tell mom and dad, this is where I'm going, and this is why I'm going there, and you need to be okay disappointing them. I'm telling you what, folks, if you didn't catch anything else from that phone call with Mark, you're going to have to get to the point where you're going to have to be okay disappointing people versus resenting, because that's the choice. I either disappoint some people or I resent them. If I let people and their feelings and their thoughts hold me up, that's a problem. This is the Ken Coleman Show. All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. Thrilled to have you with us. 844-747-2577 is the phone number to jump in. All are welcome. We have folks that call us from around the globe, and we love that. We're a big tent here on the Ken Coleman Show. Why? Because every man and woman that was born on this planet has purpose. I don't care what somebody's did to you, said to you, not done for you. You have tremendous value because you have talent. You have passion, and you have a sense of mission, and that makes you extremely valuable. The world needs what you have to offer. Let's figure out what that unique offering is, because in your uniqueness lies your greatness. Stop chasing greatness and start chasing uniqueness. Woo! Big difference. 844-747-2577. Hey, real quick, job market still going bananas. No signs that it's going to change anytime soon. A lot of people moving jobs. We're going to talk about that in just a second. For those of you that are thinking about it or are in the job hunt and you're a little bit frustrated because it's a competitive market, because a lot of people moving, and you got all this artificial intelligence, it makes it harder and harder and harder to get through many times just the resume submission and the online screening process. That's why I endorse wholeheartedly ZipRecruiter, the number one hiring site in the United States, because they have more companies with more jobs on their site. They have great technology that within minutes allows you very easily and absolutely free to upload a profile and your resume, and then they start working on your behalf. They start going, hey, this person's awesome. They're a good fit for your job, company XYZ. You should look at them. You should call them. You should hire them. So you get updates throughout the whole process. Anytime a company looks at your profile, gives it a thumbs up. So they're out there working on your behalf while you're doing your everyday work. Are you kidding me? It makes it easy, and it is, and it's free. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Go now today and let them start working for you. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. All right. It's unbelievable amount of people that are quitting. Where are they quitting? Why are they quitting? We're going to get into it right now in the news. All right, CBS headline, Americans are quitting their jobs at record rates. 10 states leading the trend. This is very fascinating. If you're new to our show and maybe you're not paying attention to the news all the time, I got your back. The only news you need to know about you and your professional career, we got it here. And so the Great Resignation, if you haven't heard the term, it just means we see more and more people than ever before, record numbers of people that are leaving one job to go to another job or start their own business. Okay, so you got women who, due to the demands of childcare during the pandemic, they moved on. You've got older folks that were close to retirement and they were given the early retirement option. They took it. And then a lot of people just going, hey, there's huge demand out there. I can go make 15% more, 20% more, sometimes higher by simply changing locations. And so this big musical chair is going on. Okay. And so that's driving demand and driving income up higher. We'll get to that in just a second. So what are the 10 states that have the highest turnover? We're going to get to that. Hourly earnings increased 4.9% in October from a year ago, with the biggest gains coming, by the way, from the leisure and hospitality industry, because they're having to juice, if you will, the hourly rates to get people to show up for these jobs because they're better paying jobs elsewhere. 12.4% jump in leisure and hospitality wages. These hourly wages, the lower wages, have still jumped a tremendous amount. So here are the top 10 states based on September's quit rates, which was a record. 4.4 million people left their jobs in September. Hawaii, number one on the list, 7.1% of the population in Hawaii quit their job. That is unbelievable. Now, what's going on in Hawaii? Quick note, a lot of older people, right? And so they could do the early retirement, and so they just cashed in, you know what I mean? And they went and said, hey, it's time for me to chop the top of the coconut off and put my feet in the air. And so there you go. Montana next, 4.8%. Nevada, 4.5%. Alaska, 4.3%. Then all these are basically in the same, you could throw a hula hoop around them. Colorado, Indiana, Idaho, Oregon, Louisiana, New Hampshire. Idaho, another one that popped out in the article as an aging population. So obviously older people who they feel good about their 401ks or their retirement accounts, probably have pensions and things of that nature, and they were given the early parachute. They said, we are doing it. So again, I mentioned September. For every job opening in the month of September, there was only 0.74 unemployed people available, the lowest ratio on record. This is according to Oxford Economics. So again, all this is doing is driving up demand, driving up wages, driving up earnings, which is good for you, the job seeker. But it is creating a lot of pain for employers because it's essentially musical chairs. And then, they left me. Now I got to try to get these people back. And so there's all these strategies. Very interesting time. Here's my point. The time for getting is right now. The getting is good, as my mom used to say. Get it while the getting is good. And this is the time. And we're here to help you navigate that. 844-747-2577 is the number. 844-747-2577. Let's go to James now at Houston, Texas. James, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, thank you for all the clarity that you've been providing to people.
Oh, thank you, sir. How can I help you?
Yes, I'm a music educator. I've been in the field this is my 4th year, and I'm starting to feel, well, I've been feeling it for a while, but I'm starting to feel like I'm not in my sweet spot. And I took your Get Clear assessment, and I wanted to see what your thoughts are based on my purpose statement.
Okay, hit me.
So my purpose statement is, I was created to use my talents of compassion, organization, and execution to perform my passion of protecting, caregiving, and planning to accomplish my mission of service. And the thing that concerned me is that when I looked at my passions for what I love to do, teaching says it's in the 20% I like it category. And right now I'm doing 100%.
Right. Would you agree with that? Was the assessment? I mean, we asked you a bunch of questions and you answered. So the assessment is based on your output. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think I really I'm organized.
Yeah, but listen, no. I'm saying no. I'm sorry, I didn't ask you very well. You opened up the phone call by saying, Ken, I've been feeling for a while that I'm not in my sweet spot, and you're in a teaching role, and the assessment verified that. That's what I'm getting you to see.
Yes.
So
yes.
So the 3 passions were protecting, caregiving, and what was the third one?
Planning.
This is the kind of work you love. Did you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, then. And then you have the missional result of service. That means you are driven, your mission, results that matter most to you, are serving others. So when it comes to protecting...
it brings me joy, yeah.
So who do you most want to serve? Who are the people? Think of it right now and tell me. Now, you already had 3 answers at least that popped through your mind, and for some reason you're not telling me. What's the answer? Who are the people you most want to serve, knowing that you're going to protect them in some form or fashion, you're going to give them care, and you love the planning of the caregiving? Answer the question. I've got 30 seconds.
I think I still think I do have a passion for kids.
Yeah, but instead of teaching them, you want to protect them, counsel them? What? Who are the kids? Tell me the problem quickly. Say it. Don't think. Go.
I think kids that have difficult backgrounds that are struggling to, because what I notice as a teacher is, you get these kids that come in and they just don't have support at home, or they're dealing with issues that you can't overcome in a 1-hour music class.
That's right. Okay, good. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to hold the thought. We're going to take a 30-second break. We're going to come back and help you get a clear answer. This is the Ken Coleman Show. All right, folks, welcome back. Thrilled to have you with us here on the Ken Coleman Show. Okay, we had to go to a quick break. We had James on the line in Houston, Texas. We're going to bring him back. And right before James he's got his Get Clear career assessment results. Feels that it's pretty spot on. And he's kind of going, what's that specific thing, Ken, right? Because what the assessment cannot do is tell you the super specific thing. I can't tell you that. But what it can do is verify who you really are and the talent and the passion and the mission. And so we got him to the point where he said, okay, I want to help kids that are struggling because they got a difficult home life. They got some difficult circumstances because he's seeing it in music class, but he can't dig into it. He can't really address it in an hour music class. He's not in a sweet spot. The assessment verified all that. So I gave him about 30 seconds to think about it. James, where can you help those kids? Who's helping those kids in the greater Houston, Texas area?
There's counselors. There's, even just giving them a positive experience on top of, talking with them or counseling them.
It might be a mentor.
Maybe,
might be a mentor role or an activities director, right? At a home for wayward kids. You've got to set your brain free. The only thing, James, that's holding you back on ideas right now is you've got this doubt, or you've got some fear, maybe a combination of both, that maybe this doesn't exist or that you can't do this, and that's a bunch of garbage. You've got to stop thinking and start looking. So you're looking at homes for those kids. You're looking at government agencies, local and state, that maybe serve those kids. You're looking at private sector organizations that serve those kids and their families. You're looking at the school system where maybe you change the seat on the bus. You've just got to start looking. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say that?
Yes, sir.
Because all of a sudden, James, when I start to see all the different organizations, and I gave you a list to get you started, and I see all the different ways that these kids are being served in my community, now I go, oh, they're there. This is possible, isn't it, James?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. So then we say, okay, what positions are available in these organizations? And I don't mean available hiring right at the moment. I just mean, what are the positions in the organization that are serving these kids? And then how does that play into you, where you're going, if I'm spending 75% of my day protecting, caregiving, and planning, I'm a happy camper, right?
Yes, sir.
You go back to those top three talents and you go, if I'm spending 75% of my day using those top three talents, and then whatever was left on my report that's above average, I'm going to be a very successful and proficient and productive person. True or false, James?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, James, how you feeling now?
I'm feeling pretty good.
There you go.
It is different to, spend most of your adult life in college saying I'm going to be this one thing, and then get there and say, oh, it's
but can I set
not really
you free?
bringing me joy.
Can I set you free from that?
Yes, sir.
You didn't make a bad decision, and you didn't blow it. You didn't waste your life.
I'm still young, so
yeah, bro. How old are you?
29.
Okay. Do you know my story at all?
No, sir. I actually started with Dave Ramsey, and I
Great.
just recently got in.
I didn't think you did. I didn't want to presume that you did, but I want to share with you. Everything that I do and teach comes from the fact that at 33, I realized that I wasn't supposed to go into politics. I was not going the direction that I had been planning on and pursuing my whole life. How about that? Talk about feeling like I wasted 33 years, bro. Okay? I've been there.
Yes, sir.
I totally understand. But you know what's true? That I didn't waste anything. That all the experiences and the things I did play into what I'm doing now. And the fact that you've been in teaching and you've got all that experience in the classroom and knowing how to connect with kids, that's not a waste, brother. That has been training you for the next chapter. You got it?
Yes, sir.
All right, my man. Go for it. Don't you dare look back. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Josh in Modesto, California. Josh, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey there, Ken. Thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate everything
you bet.
do.
How can I help?
So I am having a hard time honing in on a passion that I can pursue.
Hey, Josh,
as a
I hate to do
career.
this to you. Josh, hold the line. I got so excited coaching the other call, I realized we're going into a commercial break. It's only 30 seconds. Keep that. We'll reset when we get back. Sorry about that, brother. But this is the
No
Ken
problem.
Coleman
Thank you.
Show. We're coming right back with Josh. All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. All right, right before the break, we brought Josh on. We're going to get him back out there. Josh, you're on the Ken Coleman Show again. All right, reset the question for us.
Thanks for having me back. I am having a hard time honing in on one of my passions to pursue as a career. I'm one of those guys that's got a lot of different interests, a lot of different things I like to do and get involved in. And the biggest problem is my current job. It involves none of those passions. It involves nothing that I'm actually really interested in. And so I'm having a hard time really honing in on what I love to do and how I should make that my career.
Okay, so give me our top options. What are we back and forth between?
Yeah, well, I love helping people. I'm a minister. I'm actually a youth pastor, and that's a volunteer basis. And I would have loved to be able to involve helping people through addictions or just through their life and making that something that I would love to do, maybe family therapy. But then on the flip side, I'm also a graphic designer. That's something that I actually have my degree in, and that's how my career started. But then it took a turn into more of the administrative side of things in marketing. And that's kind of what I currently do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely not something I really don't enjoy.
Yeah, so that's obvious. So I don't know what you're torn between, because it sounds pretty obvious that you know what you want to do and why you want to do it. Am I right?
Right, and the problem is there's like 5 others. there's so many things that I really would love to make my career, but I'm not exactly sure what to hone in on because a lot of these things are widely different.
Okay, so this is interesting. I asked you to give me all the things that were options, and you only gave me one positive. You gave me well, one was kind of the volunteer thing, and then what you were trained for, and all these things. And so I still haven't heard the top 5. I just real quick want you to list out the top 5 things. Because if you're torn, I'm going to help you see that there's probably a pattern between the 5, and you're probably thinking too much, and you do some exploration. We'll see if I'm right. What are the 5? Right now, if you said, Ken, if you showed me a path to all 5, I'd be torn. I want to know what those 5 are.
Okay, so 5 things that I feel like I'm good at, that I'm passionate about?
No, I thought you told me that there were 5 different pursuits, passionate pursuits, career paths. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
right.
I need to know what you're torn with. What are the 5 things? Counseling is one of them. What's another one?
Creative arts, so being a creative director, something that I can work in the creative field.
Okay, what else?
Communication, so I love teaching, and I love preaching, I love writing, and doing all those things for my church.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Leadership, I love leading teams, I love leading people.
Mm-hmm. And that's 4. What's the next one?
You know what? I wrote these down, and I don't have my notebook, so
That's
this
fine.
one I am.
That's fine.
Sorry.
Okay, because here's what I'm doing. I'm seeing a theme between counseling, teaching, preaching, and leading. Do you see a pattern there?
Yes, I do actually.
What's the common denominator?
Well,
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to do it for you. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I'm trying to lead you somewhere. The common denominator, let's call them 2. There's a focus and then an action theme that's going on. The focus is people. People. Boy, you love people. You're good at working with people, and you love working with people. Is that a true or false statement?
That's very true.
Okay,
yeah.
so I see counseling, teaching, preaching, and leading. That screams people. That's the focus. The action is communication. You love communicating with people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Am I still right?
Yes, sir. Yes, you are.
Okay, then. So the creative director, again, that's communication. If you're a creative director in an ad agency, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, somewhat like that.
Okay, but my point is like, you see the theme again? It's communication,
Mm-hmm.
storytelling. That's what a creative director is doing. A creative director is leading the process of telling a story to sell a product or service. True or false?
That's true. That's very true.
Okay, then. And then the creative director means you're probably going to be leading people. True or false?
That's true. Yes, true.
I feel like we could throw a hula hoop around these. Is that true?
Yeah, no, I definitely see the interaction between all of them.
All right, then. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say just my fear is the job I have right now is got very good pay and very good benefits, and I have a daughter of 3 months old, and that's been my biggest fear is pursuing that passion of, like you're saying, like you're revealing to me, the communication and walking away from stability to possibly walking into something a little bit less clear. That's been the biggest fear of mine, walking away from that.
Totally get it. It means you're a decent human being. So I don't know that you're actually torn. I think you're afraid. You see, the way you've set it up is, Ken, I'm torn between all these options. I don't think you're torn. I think you're afraid. And I'm not indicting you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about it. I'm trying to help you see you're not torn. Because when you revealed your fear, I think you also revealed to me what it is you really want to do. But you feel like it's a leap, and the only way to get there is a crazy leap, which could put your family at peril. Am I starting to land on this? Or am I
yes,
off?
you are.
All right.
No,
So why don't you turn your brain off for a second and answer this from your heart? With the age-old setup that I do for a lot of people, if you knew that your daughter wasn't going to starve because you all were living under a bridge because you did something stupid and jumped out without a plan and you didn't succeed, what's the thing that you would do?
That would be a counselor, somebody to walk a family or a marriage or even a man through addiction or through help.
Yeah. Why did you? I'm going to turn it on you. I'm going to be your counselor. I've been your counselor for the last 4 minutes. Why did you? Why when I asked you that did you say this? Well, and then you answered it. What's going on there?
Because I'm a little indecisive when it comes to long-term things that I do. I was that kid that one day was a ninja, the next day was a cowboy, the next day was a cop. I was. Yeah,
but let me hold on a second. Okay, so you're afraid to commit to it because I think you're afraid you're gonna. I think you suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out, is what the kids call it.
Yeah.
So listen, what if I blew your mind right now and told you that you could be a world-class counselor and also preach and teach at your church as a layperson from time to time, or do other ministry things part-time, or just as a volunteer? What if you could do all of those things?
But that would be awesome.
Well, what's keeping you from doing that?
Well, as of right now, I mean, I am a youth pastor, so I do that on a very minor role.
I know. That was a facetious question. I was trying to get you to wake up. Wake up to the fact that you want to be a counselor and you want to meet people knee to knee, eyeball to eyeball. And you think by doing that you're giving up all these other things you want to do, and you're not. Who says you can't write? Who says you can't speak? Who says you can't lead? Come on, man. You feel like it's an all or nothing. I'm saying it's a both and. I think this is option E on the quiz. All of the above, or maybe it was D. I'm not sure it was ever E. A, B, C. You've been focused on A, B, C. I think the choice is D, all of the above. What do you think?
No, I completely agree.
All right, so here's the deal. So here's where we sit right now. What's the practical? The practical is you got to answer the 4 qualifying questions in my book, From Paycheck to Purpose. Do you have the book?
No, I do not.
All right, I'm going to give it to you. All right? At the end of this call, Amanda's going to get you whatever copy of the book you want, ebook, audio, or hard copy. And I want you to focus heavily on the get qualified stage. There are 4 qualifying questions I will walk you through in the book. The education question, what I need to learn. The experience question, what I need to do. The economic question, how much it's going to cost. and the expectation question, how long it's going to take. I want you to do a deep dive and go get those answers. And all of a sudden, my friend, you're going to get answers, and you're going to be able to formulate a plan with those answers. Are you still tracking with me?
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
Now, Josh, you should be. You know why? Because you were put on this planet to counsel and to love, to guide, to communicate, tell stories to people, for people, with people. So don't you dare back out of this. The whole book, listen, the entire book is the 7 stages, going to literally tell you how to build your map up to your mountain. No more doubt, no more fear. You were built for this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
There are people out there that you and only you can help. How powerful is that today?
Yeah.
You got this. Thank you so much for the call. Thanks for letting me push you, challenge you a little bit. Hey, I got to get out of here, but before I do, you matter, and you have what it takes. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.
Thanks for listening to the Ken Coleman Show. For more, you can find the show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. You can also find Ken across all social media by following @Ken Coleman.